This word is sealed by heaven for you, my child of destiny. Do not scroll. Do not move. Do not look away. I am trying to reach you and you keep missing it. You keep skipping. You keep scrolling past. But this time is different. This time I am not going to let you go. This time heaven has blocked every distraction, cleared every obstacle, silenced every competing voice just to get these words in front of your eyes. Because what I am about to tell you in the next 17 minutes cannot wait another day. Cannot wait another hour. Cannot wait another second. My precious soul, tonight at exactly midnight, something expires. A grace period that has been open over your life for 444 days is coming to an end. Not as punishment, not as rejection, but as completion. That season served its purpose. That window did its job. That door was meant to be open for a specific amount of time, and that time is up. At midnight, that particular doorway closes, and what you could have walked through easily during these 444 days will become infinitely harder after midnight passes. Not impossible, but harder. Not unavailable, but different. The terms change. The access changes. The ease changes. Heaven is not being cruel. Heaven is being clear. Some opportunities are forever. Some are seasonal. And the seasonal one that has your name on it expires tonight at midnight. I need you to understand the weight of this moment, the gravity of what I am saying, the urgency of what heaven is trying to communicate. This is not hype. This is not manipulation. This is truth wrapped in love, wrapped in urgency. Type ISIO0 in the comments right now. Do not wait. Do not finish reading first. Type 00 right this second. This is not about engagement. This is about agreement. When you type those 3 zeros, you are sending a signal into the spiritual realm that you are here, that you are listening, that you are ready to respond before midnight strikes. Those zeros represent the end of one thing and the potential beginning of another. They represent the moment of transition, the point of decision. Type 000 now. Heaven is watching. Angels are waiting. The clock is ticking. Do it now. I have been trying to reach you for 444 days. Let me be specific about what that means. 444 days ago, a window opened over your life. A grace period began. A special dispensation was granted. During this 444-day period, you were given unusual access, uncommon favor, supernatural assistance. Things that should have been hard were made easier. Doors that should have been locked were left unlocked. Opportunities that normally require years of preparation were made available to you within months. This was not luck. This was not coincidence. This was a deliberate divine intervention called a grace period. But here is what you did during these 444 days. You hesitated. You delayed. You overthought. You waited for better timing. You told yourself you would respond when things settled down, when you felt more ready, when circumstances aligned more perfectly. You kept saying tomorrow, next week, next month, when things calmed down. But tomorrow kept becoming today, and you kept postponing. And now those 444 days are up. Tonight at midnight, the grace period expires. The unusual access ends. The uncommon favor returns to normal. The supernatural assistance withdraws. Do not skip this message. Do not scroll past this warning. Stay with me until the very end, because I am about to show you exactly what happens at midnight and exactly what you need to do before midnight to claim what has been held for you during this 444-day grace period. Stay. Do not move. Do not look away. This is too important to miss. I saw you 333 days ago when you felt the first nudge. You were sitting in your car, engine running, about to drive somewhere, and something made you pause. A thought dropped into your mind that did not come from your own thinking. A knowing settled in your chest that felt foreign but true. You sat there for 7 minutes, engine running, feeling something shift in the atmosphere. But then your phone buzzed. Someone texted you. You got distracted. You drove away, and the moment passed. That was your first invitation during the grace period. You skipped it. I saw you 267 days ago when you woke up at 4:44 in the morning. Your eyes opened suddenly. Your mind was clear, unusually alert for that hour. You felt pulled to get up, to pray, to listen, to respond to something you could not name. You laid there for 11 minutes, feeling the pull, sensing the invitation. But then you told yourself you were being dramatic. You rolled over. You went back to sleep. That was your second invitation during the grace period. You skipped it. I saw you 189 days ago when that video appeared in your feed. You clicked on it. You watched for 3 minutes. You felt something stir. The message was speaking directly to your situation with details that felt too specific to be random. But then you got uncomfortable. You got scared. You clicked away. You told yourself it was just algorithm luck, just clever wording, just psychological manipulation. That was your third invitation during the grace period. You skipped it. I saw you 112 days ago when that person called you out of nowhere after years of no contact. The conversation felt orchestrated. They said something that unlocked a memory, triggered an awareness, awakened something you thought was dead. You felt it. You knew it. You recognized it as more than coincidence. But you did not follow up. You did not pursue it. You let it fade. That was your fourth invitation during the grace period. You skipped it. I saw you 44 days ago when you stood in front of your mirror and barely recognized the person staring back. You asked yourself out loud, when did I become this? How did I get here? What happened to who I used to be? That question was not depression. That was awakening. That was heaven using your own dissatisfaction to create hunger for what I wanted to give you. But you did not act on it. You got dressed. You went to work. You pushed the feeling down. That was your fifth invitation during the grace period. You skipped it. And now, here we are. 444 days later. Final day. Final hours. Final invitation. And this time I am not going to let you skip. This time I am going to block every exit, close every distraction, arrest your attention, and hold you here until you hear me. Because at midnight, the grace period ends. And I will not let you miss this final call. Click the like button right now. Do not wait. This is not about supporting content. This is about sealing your decision. When you press that button, you are making a declaration into the spiritual realm. You are saying, I am not skipping this time. I am not scrolling past this time. I am staying until the end this time. Press it now before you read another word. Stay with me. Do not scroll. I need to tell you what actually happens at midnight. The grace period that has been open for 444 days was a special dispensation. Dear family, I want to share something important with you all. Recently, our channel has been demonetized by YouTube, which means we no longer receive any earnings from our videos. Each video takes a lot of time, effort, editing, and resources to create. But we still want to continue spreading these powerful and uplifting messages to you. We truly wish to keep this channel alive and continue our mission, but doing this without any support is becoming very difficult. If our content has ever helped you, inspired you, or supported you in any way, we humbly request your support through Buy Me a Coffee. Even a small contribution helps us continue this journey. The support link is available in the comment section and the description. Thank you for your love, support, and prayers. God bless you. During this time, certain doors were left unlocked that are normally locked. Certain barriers were removed that are normally present. Certain resistances were decreased that are normally active. Think of it like a limited time clearance sale at a store. Everything marked down. Everything accessible. Everything available. But when the sale ends, prices return to normal. Products go back to regular cost. The special deal expires. At midnight tonight, spiritual prices return to normal. What you could have accessed easily during the grace period will now require more faith, more prayer, more fasting, more patience, more perseverance. Not because I am punishing you for waiting, But because seasons change, windows close, doors lock, that is just how time works. That is just how seasons function. That is just how opportunities operate. They have expiration dates. But here is what you need to understand. Even though the grace period expires at midnight, there is still time. You still have hours. You still have this moment. You still have this message. And what I am about to tell you can activate what has been waiting during this entire 444-day period. If you respond now, if you act now, if you claim now, everything that was available during the grace period can still be yours before midnight strikes. But you have to stay with me. You have to listen carefully. You have to follow exactly what I tell you to do. Do not skip. Do not scroll. Stay until the end. Right now, as you read these words, you might feel something in your chest. A tightness, a pressure, a heat. That is not anxiety. That is not fear. That is recognition. Your spirit recognizing truth. Your soul feeling the weight of this moment. Your body responding to the frequency of heaven. Pay attention to what you feel because your physical sensations are confirming what your mind might want to doubt. This is real. This is urgent. This is your moment. Share this message with 2 people right now. Their names just appeared in your mind. Do not ignore that. One of them is in their final hours of their own grace period. One of them needs this warning. Your obedience to share could save them from missing their moment. Share it now. Do not wait until you finish. Do it now. Now let me tell you what was placed in escrow for you during this 444-day grace period. Heaven does not just open windows for no reason. Heaven does not grant grace periods arbitrarily. During these 444 days, specific things were set aside with your name on them. Specific provisions, specific opportunities, specific connections, specific breakthroughs. All of it has been sitting in a spiritual escrow account, waiting for you to claim it before the grace period ends. First, there is a financial sum of $33,000 that was allocated to your account 444 days ago. This is not symbolic. This is actual provision that was earmarked for you. But it could not be released until you claimed it. It has been sitting in escrow, gathering interest, waiting for you to sign the spiritual paperwork that authorizes its release. At midnight, if unclaimed, it gets reallocated to someone else whose grace period is just beginning. Second, there is a relationship restoration that was approved 444 days ago. Someone who walked away. Someone who hurt you. Someone you thought was gone forever. The reconciliation was authorized. The healing was prepared. The reunion was scheduled. But you had to claim it during the grace period. You had to speak it. You had to believe it. You had to receive it. At midnight, if unclaimed, that particular pathway to restoration closes, and a different, longer pathway opens. Third, there is a purpose activation that was green-lit 444 days ago. Your calling, your assignment, your destiny work. During the grace period, the barriers to stepping into it were lowered. The resistance was decreased. The path was cleared. You could have walked into it with ease. But at midnight, the training wheels come off. The ease period ends. You can still walk into it after midnight, but it will require more sacrifice, more perseverance, more determination. Fourth, there is a health breakthrough that was released 444 days ago. Physical healing, emotional restoration, mental clarity. It was sent out from heaven with your name attached to it. But healing must be received. Restoration must be claimed. Clarity must be grasped. At midnight, that specific delivery gets rerouted to someone else who is ready to receive. All of this, all 4 things, sitting in escrow with your name on it for 444 days. And tonight at midnight, the claim period expires. But you still have hours. You still have time. You still have this moment. And I am about to tell you exactly how to claim everything that has been waiting. Subscribe to this channel right now and turn on all notifications. When you subscribe, you are not just following content. You are positioning yourself to receive ongoing instructions. After midnight, when the grace period ends, there will be new instructions for the new season. If you are not subscribed, you will miss them. Subscribe now. Do not skip. Do not scroll. Stay with me. The most important part is coming. I am about to tell you the 3 things you must do before midnight to claim what has been held in escrow. These are not suggestions. These are requirements. These are the spiritual paperwork, the activation codes, the claim forms. You must do all 3 before midnight, or everything reverts back to heaven's warehouse. Listen carefully. First, you must verbally declare out loud, not in your head, out loud with your physical voice. I claim everything that was set aside for me during the 444-day grace period. I receive the $33,000 provision. I receive the relationship restoration. I receive the purpose activation. I receive the health breakthrough. All of it is mine. I claim it now in Jesus' name. You must say this out loud before midnight. Your voice creates sound waves. Sound waves carry frequency. Frequency activates spiritual realities. Say it now. Say it right now as you read this. Do not wait until you finish. Speak it now. Second, you must sow a financial seed before midnight. Any amount. $7, $11, $33, whatever you have access to right now. Give it to someone in need. Give it to a ministry. Give it to a cause. But it must be sown before midnight. This seed is not payment for the blessing. This seed is proof of faith. This seed demonstrates that you believe the $33,000 is coming, so you can afford to give now. This seed creates a spiritual opening for the provision to flow through. Sow it before midnight. If you are watching this in the evening, you have hours. If you are watching this in the morning, you have all day. Dear family, I want to share something important with you all. Recently, our channel has been demonetized by YouTube, which means we no longer receive any earnings from our videos. Each video takes a lot of time, effort, editing, and resources to create, but we still want to continue spreading these powerful and uplifting messages to you. We truly wish to keep this channel alive and continue our mission, but doing this without any support is becoming very difficult. If our content has ever helped you, inspired you, or supported you in any way, we humbly request your support through Buy Me a Coffee. Even a small contribution helps us continue this journey. The support link is available in the comment section and the description. Thank you for your love, support, and prayers. God bless you. But do not let midnight pass without sowing something. Third, you must take one physical action toward the purpose activation. Not a huge action, not a perfect action. Just one step. Make one phone call. Send one email. Write one paragraph. Research one thing. Take one step that moves you closer to what you know you are called to do. This physical movement in the natural realm triggers spiritual movement in the heavenly realm. This action proves you are not just hearing, you are doing. Take this action before midnight. These 3 things. Verbal declaration, financial seed, physical action. All 3 before midnight. If you do these 3 things, everything held in escrow for 444 days gets released. All 4 things. The $33,000, the restoration, the activation, the breakthrough. All of it becomes yours. But you must complete all 3 before midnight, or the claim period expires. Comment right now, I claim what is mine. Type it exactly like that. This is your public declaration. This is your witness statement. This is your spiritual signature. When you type those words in the comments, you are making a legal claim in the spiritual court. You are staking your claim. You are drawing your line. Do it now. I claim what is mine. Type it now. Stay with me. Do not leave yet. I need to tell you what happens after midnight if you complete these 3 requirements. The grace period ends, yes, but a new season begins. The season that follows a grace period is called a season of manifestation. During the grace period, things are prepared. During manifestation season, things appear. During the grace period, seeds are planted. During manifestation season, harvests are reaped. During the grace period, promises are made. During manifestation season, promises are fulfilled. If you do these 3 things before midnight, within the next 30 days, you will see tangible evidence of at least one of the 4 things I mentioned. Within 30 days, money will show up that you were not expecting, or a conversation will happen that moves toward restoration, or a door will open for your purpose, or your body will respond with healing. At least one within 30 days. But potentially all 4 if your faith can hold the weight of that much blessing. And here is what makes this even more powerful. After midnight, after the grace period ends, after manifestation season begins, you will have authority you did not have before. The grace period was training. Manifestation season is deployment. Grace period was preparation. Manifestation season is activation. You went through 444 days of development so you could step into a season of demonstration. And everyone who watched you wait, everyone who questioned if anything was really happening, everyone who doubted if God was really with you, they are about to see proof. But everything hinges on this moment. Everything depends on your response before midnight. You can close this message and go back to scrolling. You can ignore what you feel. You can dismiss what you heard. And at midnight, the window closes. The grace period ends. The claim period expires. And you will spend the next several years trying to access through the hard way what you could have accessed easily tonight. Or you can do the 3 things. Declare verbally, sow financially, act physically, all 3 before midnight, and step into the manifestation season that has been waiting on the other side of your obedience. The choice is yours, but the clock is ticking. And heaven will not hold this window open past midnight. Let me tell you what I know about you. I know you have been feeling restless, unsettled, like something needs to change, but you cannot name what. I know you have been waking up at specific times repeatedly. 3:33, 4:44, 5:55. Those are not random. Those are wake-up calls, divine alarm clocks, heaven trying to get your attention before the grace period ends. I know you have been seeing repeating numbers everywhere. On license plates, receipts, clocks, random places. Those are not coincidences. Those are confirmations. Heaven marking the trail, leaving breadcrumbs, showing you the path. I know you have been having dreams that feel too real. Dreams where you are running towards something but never quite reaching it. Dreams where doors keep appearing but you cannot find the right key. Dreams where voices are calling your name but you cannot locate the source. Those dreams are prophetic. They are showing you what is happening in the spiritual realm. You are close to breakthrough. The door is there. The key is available. But you have to wake up and claim it before midnight. I know you have been feeling a pullback to things you used to do, gifts you used to use, passions you used to pursue. That pull is not nostalgia. That is redirection. Heaven reminding you of who you were before life beat you down, before disappointment made you shrink, before fear made you hide. That old version of you is connected to the new season waiting after midnight. But you have to reconnect with it before the grace period ends. Stay with me. Do not scroll. One more thing and then you can go complete the 3 requirements. I need you to understand why tonight is the cutoff, why midnight is the deadline, why 444 days was the length of the grace period. Nothing in heaven is random. Every number has meaning. Every timeline has purpose. 444 represents foundation, structure, angels surrounding you. You needed 444 days to build the internal foundation strong enough to hold what I am giving you next. You needed 444 days for angels to clear the opposition that was blocking your path. You needed 444 days for your faith to mature from hope to certainty. The foundation is built now. The opposition is cleared now. The faith is matured now. That is why the grace period ends tonight. Not because the time is up, but because you are ready. The training is complete. The preparation is finished. The season is shifting. And you are about to step into what you were always meant to carry. But you have to claim it before midnight. You have to complete the 3 requirements. You have to do what I told you to do. Dear family, I want to share something important with you all. Recently, Our channel has been demonetized by YouTube, which means we no longer receive any earnings from our videos. Each video takes a lot of time, effort, editing, and resources to create, but we still want to continue spreading these powerful and uplifting messages to you. We truly wish to keep this channel alive and continue our mission, but doing this without any support is becoming very difficult. If our content has ever helped you, inspired you, or supported you in any way, we humbly request your support through Buy Me a Coffee. Even a small contribution helps us continue this journey. The support link is available in the comment section and the description. Thank you for your love, support, and prayers. God bless you. My child, stop for a moment. What is happening right now is not ordinary, and you must not ignore this moment. I need your full attention because what is unfolding around you did not begin when you opened this message. It began long before this second arrived, long before your eyes reached these words, long before your heart felt this sudden pull to remain here and listen carefully. There are moments in life that pass like ordinary hours, and then there are moments that carry the weight of heaven, moments that quietly divide what was from what is about to be. This is one of those moments. I am not speaking to you casually. I am speaking because the hour you are standing in has been carefully measured, watched, and prepared with a precision you could never fully see while you were living through the confusion that came before it. I know you have heard many voices, many opinions, many explanations for why things happened the way they did. But right now I need every other voice to become small in your heart because what I am saying to you now must enter deeply. If you allow distraction to pull you away too quickly, you may miss the exact truth your soul has been asking me for in silence. I held this back until your spirit could carry it. If I had released it earlier, you would have misunderstood it, feared it, or walked away from what was meant to save you. There were seasons when you asked why I stayed silent, why I allowed doors to remain closed, why I let you sit in long stretches of waiting while others seemed to move ahead with ease. But you could not see what I saw. You could not see how fragile certain parts of your heart still were, how easily fear could still convince you to run, how quickly old pain could still distort what I wanted you to receive. What you called delay was often protection. What you called silence was often mercy. What you thought was abandonment was often my hand holding something back until the day your spirit could receive it without destroying it through doubt. I know there were nights when you asked me if I had forgotten you. I know there were mornings when getting up felt heavier than anyone around you understood. I watched every hidden moment when your strength looked normal on the outside, but inside you were asking how much longer you could continue carrying what nobody else fully saw. I was there in every hidden question, and even when I did not answer the way you wanted, I was arranging this exact hour. Even as you listen, something has already begun moving around you that cannot be undone. Before this message reached you, before your attention settled here, movement had already begun in places your natural eyes cannot yet measure. Certain things have already shifted. Certain walls have already weakened. Certain answers have already started traveling toward you, even though nothing outward may yet appear different. This is why your spirit has felt unusual lately, why certain thoughts have become sharper, why certain emotions have risen without clear explanation, why there has been a strange feeling that something is near even though you cannot name it. You are not imagining that inner stirring. It is not random. It is because what has been held for a long time has entered a moment where release has started, and once heaven begins what heaven has appointed, no fear, no past failure, no human opinion, and no old disappointment can reverse it. Many will hear words today, but this message was timed for you because your season has changed. I know how often you have wondered whether something truly belongs to you or whether you are only watching others step into what you hoped would one day reach your own life. But hear me carefully now. There are moments when a word becomes personal because timing has finally met readiness. You are not here by accident. You did not arrive at this message because of chance. I allowed your attention to stop here because your heart has entered a place where what once sounded distant must now become personal. Others may hear language, but you are meant to hear direction. Others may hear comfort, but you are meant to hear confirmation. Others may move on quickly, but something in you knows you must remain because deep inside your spirit recognizes that this moment carries something you have been waiting for without fully knowing how to describe it. Do not leave this message halfway, because one sentence near the end will explain why everything in your life suddenly began shifting. The enemy has often tried to train your attention to leave too early, to withdraw too quickly, to stop listening just before clarity arrives. How many times have you stood near understanding but left because disappointment told you nothing important was coming? How many times have you nearly touched peace but retreated because your past convinced you that hope would only lead to pain again? Not this time. Remain here with an open heart because there is a reason I am speaking slowly into the places where your questions live. I do not rush when I speak to wounds that have waited a long time for truth. I know exactly how much your heart has carried, and I know that one true word received at the right moment can break confusion that has remained for years. You cried when nobody saw you. You waited when nothing changed. You almost believed nothing was coming. But I was holding everything. I saw the moments when tears came without sound because you no longer had words left to explain what you felt. I saw the times you tried to act normal while inside you were tired beyond what anyone around you understood. I saw you when you questioned whether your prayers were still reaching me, when silence became so long that even faith felt difficult to hold with confidence. Yet even then, I was not absent. I was holding back what was not yet safe to release. I was preventing certain doors from opening while hidden pieces were still being arranged. I was allowing some people to leave because they could not remain where I was taking you. I was allowing certain disappointments because what looked like loss was often removal. I know you interpreted many things as endings, but some endings were simply my way of clearing space for what could not enter while old structures remained standing. Write your word is my everlasting truth. Lord, if you stand firm on Scripture's promise. What I release now is not small help, not temporary comfort, but something that will touch every part of your life. This is why the season before now felt so deep, so stretching, so unlike ordinary difficulty. Large release often follows deep preparation. I am not speaking of something shallow that lifts emotion for a day and disappears. I am speaking of something that enters your thinking, your peace, your decisions, your relationships, your courage, your future. What I release changes how you stand when pressure comes. It changes how you hear me when fear tries to speak louder. It changes how you look at what once intimidated you. It changes how you respond to closed doors because now you will understand that what I close can be mercy and what I open cannot be blocked by human resistance. After this moment, you will not think the same, pray the same, or walk the same. A true shift first changes what happens inside before it becomes visible outside. That is why some of the first signs will be internal. You will notice peace arriving where panic once lived. You will notice clarity appearing where confusion repeated itself. You will notice strength rising where exhaustion once ruled your mornings. You will notice that things which once held power over your emotions begin losing their grip. Dear family, I want to share something important with you all. Recently, Our channel has been demonetized by YouTube, which means we no longer receive any earnings from our videos. Each video takes a lot of time, effort, editing, and resources to create, but we still want to continue spreading these powerful and uplifting messages to you. We truly wish to keep this channel alive and continue our mission, but doing this without any support is becoming very difficult. If our content has ever helped you, inspired you, or supported you in any way, we humbly request your support through Buy Me a Coffee. Even a small contribution helps us continue this journey. The support link is available in the comment section and the description. Thank you for your love, support, and prayers. God bless you. This is because when I move deeply, I begin where no human applause can reach, in the hidden places where identity, memory, fear, and trust all meet. And when I change that place, everything that follows begins changing with it. There is a reason I delayed this until now, and before this message ends, you will understand why. You were not ready when you first asked. You were sincere, but sincerity alone is not readiness. You desired quick relief, but quick relief would not have produced lasting strength. You wanted immediate answers, but immediate answers would have kept deeper weakness untouched. So I allowed time to do what only time under my hand can do. I allowed waiting to expose what still needed healing. I allowed silence to reveal what voices you trusted too much. I allowed disappointment to uncover where your expectations had become attached to things that could never carry your future safely. None of it was wasted. Your entire life has been moving toward this exact moment, even when you thought nothing was happening. Even the days that felt empty were still carrying you here. Even the closed doors were still guiding you here. Even the tears, the delays, the confusion, the long questions, the quiet battles, the hidden endurance, all of it was still moving under my hand toward a point where what I placed inside you could finally meet what I prepared ahead of you. So stay here with me now, because what begins in this moment will speak into everything that comes next. My child, listen carefully, because this part of your journey has been misunderstood by your own heart many times. You often looked at the delay and thought it meant distance. You looked at the silence and thought it meant I had stepped back. You looked at the doors that would not open and wondered if perhaps I had changed my mind about you, about what I spoke to you in quiet moments, about what you carried in your spirit when hope was still strong. But I need you to understand this deeply now. What felt like rejection was often protection, and what felt like absence was often my hand covering you until the moment was right. I did not hold things back because I wanted to hurt you. I held them back because if they had reached you too early, they would have touched a version of you that was not yet strong enough to carry what was coming. There are things I will never release simply because you ask quickly, because some gifts are heavy, some answers are weighty, some doors open into places where your spirit must be steady enough not to lose itself once you enter. I knew what your heart wanted when you first cried for change. I heard every urgent prayer, every request whispered late at night, every moment when you asked why others seemed to move forward while you remained standing in the same place. But I also saw what you could not yet see. I saw how one wrong opening at the wrong time would have added pain instead of healing. I saw how one early answer would have fed emotions that had not yet learned how to remain anchored when pressure came. There were parts of you that still depended too heavily on visible proof. There were places in your heart where fear still spoke louder than trust. There were wounds that had not yet stopped bleeding, and had I opened certain doors while those wounds were still controlling your reactions, you would have stepped into blessing-carrying patterns that could have damaged what I intended to build. You thought readiness meant wanting something badly, but wanting is not always readiness. Desire can cry loudly while the spirit is still fragile underneath. That is why I did not move according to the urgency of your feelings alone. I moved according to what your deeper life required. If I had released certain answers when you first begged for them, you might have celebrated for a moment, but later you would have discovered that what arrived too early can become difficult to keep when character has not yet deepened enough to sustain it. I do not prepare blessings only by arranging what comes toward you. I prepare blessings by strengthening the person who will receive them. I care about what reaches your hands, but I care even more about what happens inside you before it arrives. You remember those hidden seasons, even if you did not know what to call them while you were inside them. Seasons when days felt ordinary but heavy, when nothing dramatic happened outwardly, yet inwardly you were carrying questions you could not fully explain. There were mornings when you woke up already tired, not because your body lacked rest, but because your spirit was moving through a silence that felt unfamiliar. There were nights when your thoughts circled around the same unanswered things. You asked me whether anything was changing, because from where you stood, so much looked still. But hidden seasons are often the deepest seasons. Growth that happens lively is not always the growth that lasts longest. Some of the strongest roots form where no body applauds, where no body notices movement, where even you begin to wonder whether anything is alive beneath the surface. Yet that hidden ground is where much of your strength was formed. You thought silence meant nothing was happening, but in silence I was teaching your heart how to stay near me without immediate proof. I was loosening your dependence on constant signs. I was showing you how to breathe in uncertainty without collapsing every time understanding did not arrive quickly. The hidden season was not empty. It was full of slow work, quiet shaping, and deep correction that could only happen away from noise. What looked like nothing was often me removing inner weakness that would have become dangerous later if left untouched. I allowed certain delays because your spirit needed room to learn what cannot be learned in easy seasons. I allowed you to sit with unanswered prayer because immediate answers would have hidden the deeper lessons I wanted rooted in you. Comment Jesus, you are my song in every storm if he has carried you through battles. And yes, the waiting hurt. I know it hurt more than you often admitted. Waiting becomes painful when your heart is sincere, when you are trying, when you are praying, when you are hoping with honesty and still nothing appears to move. You watched doors remain closed even after you knocked with faith. You watched opportunities disappear just when you thought perhaps this was finally the moment. You watched some people walk away when you hoped they would stay. You watched certain situations remain unresolved while you begged for relief. But those closed doors were not random refusals. They were part of timing you could not yet measure. Some doors were not evil, they were simply early. Some opportunities were not wrong, they were just connected to a version of you I was still strengthening. Some relationships could not continue because what I was preparing next required less noise around your spirit. A closed door often protected you from entering too soon with a heart still seeking identity in what I never intended to define you. There were things you thought would heal you that would only have distracted you. There were places you wanted to go that would have demanded strength you had not yet built. So when the door stayed closed, I was not punishing you. I was guarding timing. I know closed doors felt personal, especially when you had already imagined how a relief might look if they opened. I know disappointment became hard to explain when you had prayed sincerely and still watched silence remain. But hear me clearly now. Every door I kept closed carried purpose. Dear family, I want to share something important with you all. Recently, our channel has been demonetized by YouTube, which means we no longer receive any earnings from our videos. Each video takes a lot of time, effort, editing, and resources to create. But we still want to continue spreading these powerful and uplifting messages to you. We truly wish to keep this channel alive and continue our mission, but doing this without any support is becoming very difficult. If our content has ever helped you, inspired you, or supported you in any way, we humbly request your support through Buy Me a Coffee. Even a small contribution helps us continue this journey. The support link is available in the comment section and the description. Thank you for your love, support, and prayers. God bless you. Some protected your peace. Some protected your future. Some protected what I planned to release later when you could receive it without losing yourself inside it. Your tears were not wasted in that season. Every tear became part of shaping. Every confused prayer became part of your deepening. Every lonely night became part of your strengthening. Loneliness often exposed what voices had become too necessary to your sense of peace. When others were absent, when comfort from people was thin, when understanding from those around you felt limited, you were learning what it means to remain when human reassurance cannot carry you. That loneliness was painful, but it revealed how much deeper our relationship needed to go. You were not being abandoned. You were being drawn inward, away from dependence on voices that could not always remain. Confusion also had purpose, though it did not feel holy while you lived through it. Confusion forced you to slow down. It forced you to stop assuming every strong emotion was direction. It forced you to seek me beneath your own assumptions. When clear answers delayed, your spirit had to learn patience beyond comfort. And unanswered prayer did not mean unheard prayer. Many times you asked for immediate relief while I was answering in slower ways that your emotions could not yet recognize. Some prayers were answered through what I prevented, not only through what I allowed. Some prayers were answered by removing what you were still asking to keep because you did not yet know how costly it would become later. I was not absent. I was adjusting everything. I was adjusting timing, adjusting people, adjusting your heart, adjusting circumstances you could not even see. I was working behind moments that looked ordinary. I was moving through conversations you did not hear, closing paths you never noticed, softening parts of you that had become guarded, strengthening places that still collapsed too quickly under pressure. My silence was never empty. It carried attention, care, and precise movement beyond what your natural mind could track. Even when you accused me in your private thoughts of being too quiet, too slow, too hidden, I remained near, still shaping what had to be shaped before release could come safely. Understand this now. Spiritual readiness matters more than emotional desire. Emotional desire says, I want this now because I feel ready. Spiritual readiness says, even if I want it now, let it come when my inner life can hold it without breaking. Desire can be honest and still incomplete. A sincere heart can still need deeper formation. I do not reject your desire, but I will never allow desire alone to decide timing when your future is involved. I waited because your spirit needed deeper roots than your emotions understood. I waited because strength had to become quiet and stable, not only passionate. I waited because the version of you that now listens carries a depth the earlier version did not yet possess. And now when you look back, some things begin to make sense. Not everything, but enough to see that delay was not empty cruelty. It was careful love. It was measured wisdom. It was protection from what your earlier self could not yet carry. What I held back, I held with purpose. What I delayed with intention. What you called silence often contained the deepest work. And because of that hidden work, You are now able to stand differently than before. Your heart has learned things pain alone could not teach without my presence beside you. Your spirit has stretched beyond quick reactions. Your understanding has deepened beyond surface hope. That is why what comes next will meet a different person than the one who first asked for it. And that difference matters more than you know. My child, there were many moments when you looked at your life and quietly concluded that something had been wrong. You saw delays gather one after another. You watched expectations collapse in your hands, and you began to wonder whether what you hoped for had simply moved too far away to ever reach you. There were times when disappointment did not arrive as one great event, but as many small moments that slowly taught your heart to expect less. A conversation that seemed promising suddenly changed direction. A door that looked ready to open stayed locked. A plan you carefully built lost strength before it could stand. You asked yourself why so many things began but did not continue, why certain possibilities came close enough to awaken hope and then disappeared before becoming real. But what you called repeated disappointment was not random loss. It was precision working quietly through moments you judged too quickly while pain was still fresh. I know disappointment feels personal because it touches places where expectation had already formed. It makes you question whether you misunderstood me, whether you moved wrongly, whether perhaps your hope itself became foolish. But hear me clearly now, many disappointments were not evidence that I forgot you. They were evidence that I refused to let the wrong thing remain simply because your heart had already attached itself to it. Every disappointment carried timing you could not see while you were inside it. What hurt you often happened exactly when it needed to happen, because if it had remained longer, your attachment would have grown deeper, your dependence stronger, and the later separation far more painful than what you first endured. Some things had to end while they still looked promising because if they had continued, you would have built identity around what was never designed to carry your future. I know there were moments when you asked why something that seemed so close suddenly became distant. Why a possibility that once felt alive lost momentum without warning. Why people who spoke as if they would remain suddenly became quiet, unavailable, or changed in ways you did not expect. But not every ending came because you failed. Not every change happened because you misunderstood everything. Some endings arrived because I measured what would happen if that path remained open and I chose mercy before deeper damage formed. You remember certain opportunities that seemed almost certain. You imagined how life would look if that one answer had arrived, if that one opening had stayed available, if that one plan had unfolded the way you carefully pictured it in your mind. You prepared yourself emotionally for outcomes that looked near enough to touch, and when they vanished, you felt both confusion and grief because part of you had already stepped forward internally. But missed opportunities are not always missed in heaven's understanding. Some opportunities are removed because they lead toward places that appear attractive at first but carry hidden cost later. You saw only the surface. I saw the full road beyond the first step. You saw immediate relief. I saw the long consequence attached to what looked harmless in the beginning. What you called a missed opportunity was often redirection so exact that only later would you understand how much was protected by what did not happen. Had some offers stayed open, you would have entered environments that slowly drained what I placed inside you. Had some invitations remained available, you would have connected yourself to systems that rewarded movement but weakened peace. Had some desired outcomes happen when you wanted them, you would have celebrated briefly and later discovered how much hidden conflict lived inside what first appeared as blessing. I do not only guard what enters your hands. I guard the shape of your future beyond what your emotions can currently evaluate. So when an opportunity faded, When a path changed suddenly, when something you hoped for slipped away without explanation, I was not watching passively. I was steering what you could not yet see. There were also people who left, and some departures wounded you more deeply than you admitted aloud. Because when people leave unexpectedly, the pain is not only their absence. Dear family, I want to share something important with you all. Recently, our channel has been demonetized by YouTube, which means we no longer receive any earnings from our videos. Each video takes a lot of time, effort, editing, and resources to create, but we still want to continue spreading these powerful and uplifting messages to you. We truly wish to keep this channel alive and continue our mission, but doing this without any support is becoming very difficult. If our content has ever helped you, inspired you, or supported you in any way, we humbly request your support through Buy Me a Coffee. Even a small contribution helps us continue this journey. The support link is available in the comment section and the description. Thank you for your love, support, and prayers. God bless you.